Greetings fellow traders, this is Max and welcome to my Sunday market analysis where I'm going to analyze the market and share with you my top trades for the upcoming week. And for this week I have selected 3 pairs with very interesting trade setups and I'm really excited to share those with you. And of course later in this video we will have a look at some pairs from last week which are not featured in today's list to see how they have performed. So without further ado, let's start here with the pair AUDUSD. So on AUDUSD, as you can see on my blue arrow, I am looking for a potential short opportunity here. And why is that? Right now, the price has been ranging in this big price range here, the 0.66 round psychological level, very significantly, and an area of interest where the price has reacted to several times, as well as reacted to the round psychological level. And the same is below this area. We have had the area being resistance, we had it being support, and what I want to look for now is I want to see it turning into resistance. But let's go to the higher time frame because this is just on the daily chart. Let's have a look at the weekly chart here. And what we can see, we see a very familiar pattern, which is a head and shoulders pattern. On the left side, we have the head, we have the left shoulder. On the left side, in the middle, we have the head, and on the right side, we have the right shoulder. And now it looks like we have just broken this neckline here on the weekly chart, leaving some bit of a wick and closing below the area of interest and the round psychological level. So what I'm looking for now is I am waiting for the new weekly candlestick forming, creating a wick up, and then hopefully a rejection to go further down here. And this wick up is also the retest of this neckline of the head and shoulders pattern, which I am looking for. I usually do like trading the retest because this is a safer approach for my strategy, which is why I'm waiting for that now. And if that happens, I will have a look at the daily chart. Maybe the rejection is going to be a 50 EMA rejection, even though I believe that this could take still a decent amount of days, maybe even 2 weeks until the EMA is going to be down here. But maybe it's a wick up liquidity grab above the round psychological level 0.65 or the area of interest in general, and then a neutral day and a clear shift of structure that the price is being rejected by this area, and then I would open the short position. But it's important to monitor the price here and be patient. And also in the next 5 days, the monthly candlestick is going to close. And if it closes red, then this is also a very good sign for me that in the coming months, the trade might actually continue lower and go into profit because price is falling. So a head and shoulders pattern, very bearish signal, very bearish pattern, and we have the neckline break. So this is giving me a lot of confidence. We will see how it turns out. Let's go to the next pair, CADCHF. And there's also another CHF pair, and your CHF is generally on my list too. They have something in common, and this is right now the price formation that's happening on the CHF pairs. Because what you can see here is that, first of all, I'm looking for a potential long opportunity. And that means I want to buy CADCHF or buy Canadian dollar, sell the CHF currency. We see the price has also been ranging, kind of moving sideways a lot in those two zones here. We have a round psychological level 0.575 and an area of interest that has been support, resistance, and maybe turn into support in the future. We don't know yet. But you can also see we have another round psychological level to 0.57 and another area of interest, which has been resistance and support. And it looks like this is turning into support now again. So while this looks like after price has broken through this area here and it's now coming back and it broke above again, it looks like it has already had its retest here. So this is not ideal to see for me because the entry might be gone. But what I'm looking for is just another wick down, maybe on the daily chart, to give me another chance to enter this trade, then a good sign on a lower time frame that the price actually wants to continue higher. And if I get the signal, then I will open the position. Right now I will not, but this looks like maybe this is a turning point now on the CHF currencies, and we will actually see a bigger correction. If you look even on the higher time frames on the monthly chart, we have been going down significantly here and quite some time, but there have also been some periods where there were several green candles in a row as a correction. Maybe this is also going to happen now as well, because if the coming months close like that, then you can see that this is a kind of double rejection and indicating a potential bigger correction. That's my chance to profit off of that correction, which is why I'm going to be patient now. Maybe wait for a break and retest of this area, depending on what's going to happen first. Maybe I will get a chance to enter here, or maybe it's going to be a break and retest trade. Very simple setup, and then this is going to be the better entry for me. But whatever will happen, I will have a look at the pair and then react accordingly. So now it's just time to be patient. Also, if you go to the 4-hour time frame, what this is kind of forming is a cup and handle pattern, and a cup and handle pattern is very often considered a reversal pattern because it's indicating that the momentum to the downside is getting weaker, and now this is basically forming the cup and this is the handle, and if it breaks above this handle, then this is an indication that the price will continue higher. I've heard that quite some traders use this pattern as a very solid confirmation on where the price is going. I'm not purely trading those patterns, I'm also looking at the price action and the overall context. And right now there are a lot of things speaking for it that this might have a turnaround now. Now let's go to USDCHF, and you will probably see the setup looks similar because we have the price ranging in this area, and it looks now like it has actually broken above the area that was still a resistance on CADCHF. But this area is a bit different, and why I put this pair on my list is essentially because of the weekly chart. So on the weekly chart, we've had recently a red candle, so a red week, and then we've closed as a really bullish and engulfing two weeks here. It's a green weekly candlestick, even closing above the area of interest here and around psychological level, the 0.805 level. So what I'm waiting for now is I'm waiting for a retest, which is going to be a wick down of newly forming weekly candlestick, and then on a lower time frame, I want to see the shifter structure here, and this is going to be my entry signal to then buy USDCHF. If you look on the 4-hour time frame again, it's the same. We are kind of forming a cup pattern, and this is a handle, and it has already broken above the handle. So I'm essentially waiting for another test, another retest, maybe a liquidity grab below the zone for an additional indication that the price is going higher now. Want to see the shifter structure and just a bullish price movement, and then I will open a long position on USDCHF. So a lot of factors in confluence, a lot of things playing together here, indicating a continuation to the upside, and this is what I want to profit off. Even on the monthly chart, we can see several months in the zone here down below, haven't really gotten further down, so this could be a bigger correction now, ultimately maybe even up until the 0.84 round psychological level. That could absolutely be the case. I don't know if I would hold this trade for that long, because this could take maybe 1 or 2 months, but we will see depending on my entry and depending on how the price is moving. I will make a decision based off of that. But right now, this is a really interesting setup for me, and I'm really excited for the coming week to see what it brings and if it's giving me my entry. And that's already it for this week's list. So now let's have a look at some pairs from last week and see how they have performed. And we have here the pair Euro-CAD. My plan was to wait for a retest of this area and then a shifter structure, so the entry signal kind of a higher low to then buy Euro-CAD and open the long position and profit off of a rising price. And actually right now I could technically open a position here. We kind of have an inverse head and shoulders pattern. We have a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, and it looks like we have a potential neckline here. We haven't broken it yet, and this is almost looking like a Morningstar formation. Actually, really interesting trade. We are rejecting 1.62 round psychological level and the area of interest. But why I haven't opened a position here is because for me it was still ranging too much. There wasn't really a clear strong push to the upside, and in the meantime I was also in a different trade, which is the NZD USD pair in a short position, which we will talk about in a minute here. Maybe this week it's going to have the continuation to the upside. We will see, but right now this trade is not interesting for me anymore. Let's have a look at GBP NZD, and GBP NZD was a potential long position as well. So I was waiting for the price to come further down into the area, retest it, liquidity grab below the zone, reject the 50 EMA, and then continue higher. What you can see here, it already did that. So I didn't really have, even at the time where I planned this trade, I didn't have the time or didn't have a chance to wait for a solid entry signal here and the price formation so that I could then open a long position on this pair. It is what it is. The trade was gone, but it continued higher. So it's neither a win nor a loss. So that's good. Let's have a look at NZD JPY, and NZD JPY. I was waiting for a higher low here on, or more like a retest, a clear retest of the zone and around psychological level with a small wick below clearing the liquidity, and then I expected a continuation higher. As you can see, it never came back into the zone, triggering my alarm, so I never really looked at this pair again, or I just did not get any long entry signal and chance. And as you can see right now, it still seems to struggle a bit in either direction, so this pair is not really interesting for me for the coming week anymore. But we will see how it will perform in the next weeks. And now NZD USD, as I shared in my free Telegram channel, I opened a short position here, which was even the plan from last week, and it played out super well. I entered a bit at a time where it had a pullback again, and then I've been in a bit of a loss, but eventually it just continued lower, which was an absolutely beauty. I had a 1 to 2.7 risk reward ratio, which is absolutely great. So it came back into the zone and it showed this red candlestick here, and then at the next candlesticks forming, I decided to open the short position here to then profit off of a potential push to the downside, and I was profiting off of this entire move here essentially. So that's a win for me and a plan that played out very well. You can see NZD USD is still in a solid downtrend here, but right now I'm waiting for a bigger pushback now, see what it's going to do, and then it may be on the list for next week. And that's already it for this week's Sunday market analysis. Of course, I've looked at the other pairs to set price alarms, and if any of those alarms is getting triggered, then I will have a look at the respective pair again. But right now, they do not offer me any solid trade opportunities. If you want to get notified whenever I find a new trade idea, or if you're interested in my actual running trades and when I open or close a position, then you can just join my free Telegram channel. I will put the link to it into the video description. You will also find the link to my other socials there. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below and I will try to answer your questions. Thank you for watching. I wish you a successful trading week. Remember to manage your risk properly, and see you next Sunday.